I don't know if you're with me or not, but brainstorming and sharing ideas is the funnest part of the creative process. We decided to skip the boring part of actually making stuff and just do the fun part. I'm your host, Tom Walma,
Ace Armstrong.
I'm GP.
and this is Creativity Wasted.
First of all, let me check your NDAs. Have you signed your NDAs, guys?
If you do have a good idea, don't share it and just give a shitty idea instead.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I don't have good ideas. I only have shitty ideas.
Okay, bring it on.
So, like I have also been sitting on it for a while. Like I always go in public places and I think of that. So, are you ever in a situation where you're like, I really don't want to do small talk. No, your day has been really shitty. You're sitting at the hairdresser and they won't stop talking, and then so many situations where you really do not want to talk or smile. So we could have a mask, like we could have a device where you could, it could be sewn into a mask or like attached to a mask somewhere, and you can voice program it, which will just, do your job. You are just sitting in a hairdresser, and the women's be like, "Oh, how's that day going? I just broke up with my husband. I'm a single mother. I got three children, and the device you're gonna wear a mask, and the device keeps going like, oh, tell me more, tell me more. Uh oh.
I don't know that they really need that. I think we already have that. It's called wine.
Man, you cannot be drunk at 8 a.m.
Speak for yourself, slacker.
Well, I guess I need a more
Some of us are high achievers.
literal high achiever.
I like how your device doesn't like get people to stop talking. It like encourages them. Tell me more. Tell me more. Like you don't want to talk, and yet your device is just.
Exactly, and that makes people like you. They're like, "Oh, you are such a good listener."
Does it like pull on your eyes to make it look like you're looking at them when they talk and stuff?
So it can have different versions. You have no idea how vast you can take it. So I have like parallel spin-offs of this idea. I'll tell you more. So if you are in a hairdresser, if you are not having eye contact with the person, you really do not need to buy a higher-end model. So it won't shake your eyes, but it will just shake your lips. Because hairdressers can't see you. All they are worried about is just shitty haircuts, giving you shitty haircuts. Because I get shitty haircuts. I don't know about you, Ace. You look smart. But
Wow. Somebody's
yeah,
you need glasses.
I thought Ace looked like a guy who cut his own hair.
Yeah. Just,
you have no idea. Like I have spent an hour just to get my hair straight for this podcast, Tom. You're welcome.
So you need another version though for when you go to the dentist.
So I'll tell you. No, so it can also be used for guys who do not like confrontations. Like I gotta like really go hard at Ace. I'm fucking angry at Ace, but I have everything in my mind, but I cannot just get it out. So I just sit in my bedroom crying about my life. I program everything into the mask, and then I just blurt it all out.
Wait, what? It trash talks for you later to Ace? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. Yes, you can program it. It learns. It's AI, artificial intelligence.
So it's like a time delay. It's a fuse.
It's a fuse, exactly. So you just tell it like 5 different shitty arguments. It will do that for you. And then when I talk to Ace, I'll just pick a fight with Ace. And then this guy keeps doing it, and I do not have to move my lips. I just stand there because I cannot get it out of my system, but the speaker can.
And then when the guy knocks you out, you can still trash talk him when you're unconscious on the ground.
So in the end, you still win, right?
This would be great for like Thanksgiving. So I could just install one of the strap it to a mannequin and send it. It can sit at the Thanksgiving Day table. And like listen to my Uncle Rick and his like MAGA conspiracy theories.
Exactly.
And just be like,
Exactly. And
every once in a while it just has to randomly throw in a wow, you're racist.
Wow, that's
Or no, it says a racist thing to appease the uncle or
The
whatever.
uncle.
or maybe just do,
A racist joke for the uncle.
or it just blurts out that pooping sound every 30 seconds after the statement. Or like I have these pet peeves. I do not like dumb arguments. Like if you just say something very obvious, like if I'm going to like if I'm sleeping and you just wake me up like, hey man, were you sleeping? Or
Right.
something like that. If somebody just says the most obvious thing, I hate that. So this guy replies it for you. For example, I do not, to be honest, I hate people who say to be honest. Who use that term to be honest.
True, because nobody ever prefaces it with, okay, I'm going to lie to you now.
Yeah, exactly. Like, what the fuck is that supposed to be meaning? Like, to be honest, man, I do not know what's going on. You can just say you do not know what's going on.
To be
God,
dishonest, I'd really like to go help you move.
exactly. To be honest, I fucking hate you. So this guy can actually be honest without having, been scared. So that's that.
Here's something you could do. Like, let's say you have an uncle who tells a bunch of racist jokes or whatever. It could, well, it would work for some formats like knock knock jokes or like jokes where you're supposed to. It could figure out the joke, the punchline of the joke, and so as he's telling the joke, I can't think of a great example. It could always know the joke and like reveal the surprise and piss him off, so he stops telling jokes. You know what I mean?
Dumps on his punchline.
Yeah, dump on the
Heard this one.
punchline.
Stop.
Or if it's like why did the chicken cross the road? Like a question joke.
Right.
It would know the answer.
What do you get
And
when
it
you
just
cross an
blurt out.
elephant and a rhino? An albino!
Yeah, it would always know the answer and it would
Right.
annoy the guy. And he would shut up with
Yeah, but then people would bring that to my shows. So
I'm going to be buying the first version of it is for your show. I'm going to be making it and then using it. For my shows, what I'm going to do is I'm going to make like 50s of them and include that in the ticket price, and I'm going to just distribute. At least the show got to be funny. If I'm not doing it, at least the audience can entertain themselves.
I would use it if I got a heckler. Because
Right.
I do all the memorized one-liners, and if I deviate from the order of my jokes, I get lost, and like I don't know how to deal with hecklers. If I started getting a heckler, I'd be like, "Here, hold on, let me put on this mask."
Or
And then the mask would destroy the heckler for me.
that's a great idea, Tom. Like building off of that, we could actually like teach the mask all of our set. So we could be like literally picking our noses while somebody's like performing our set, or maybe like scratching our butts, and the show still goes on.
how bold of you to assume I don't pick my nose when I'm on set.
But do you do the both things at the same time, like picking your nose and still remembering your lines? You still stop just to pick your nose. I'm saying doing two things at the same time. You're still picking your nose, and the show is still going on.
Right. Yeah. Well, it's like a ventriloquism act almost.
Exactly.
Which does explain that hand that seems to be up my ass half the time. So just me?
The thing is, let's say the setup is pretty serious. The setup is going like, oh, my father died last night, and then you're doing this. While saying this. And the audio doesn't match the video, man.
as long as you don't follow it up with,
Or maybe like having your hands in your pants or something like that.
yeah.
Yeah.
Or you could hand out masks to the audience that laugh at your jokes.
That I would love.
That's a winner. That's a winner. Yep. So integrate. What we'll do is that uncle will do those dad jokes. How why did chicken cross the road? And then audience will still be in split because their mask does it for them, and we tell them the shittiest jokes possible, like a social experiment.
Like going to one of my shows, basically, is what you're talking about.
I haven't been to one of your shows, and I'm not planning to now.
Yeah, no. Not recommended by 4 out of 5 dentists. I'm telling you right now.
Yeah.
I think we actually kind of have the thing that you're talking about, though, Tom. We just call it weed.
Yeah, I haven't done a dispensary. Have you done any shows at like weed shops?
Oh yeah. Like right after recreational marijuana became legal, I had a show, man. I could have gone out and farted on stage, and I would have like killed because okay,
And you
look,
did. And you
farts are
did.
pretty funny to begin with, but I mean, you could just walk out there and you could say nothing. And these guys were like, "Dude, you're so funny."
A parallel use of the device could be, why just restrict it to the mask? You could have it sewn everywhere, even in your underwear. You could have it strapped at the back, and you are sitting in church, and you can program it to like make fart noises every 10 minutes or something. Somebody's reading Bible, and they're like every 10 seconds.
Okay, so my son, who is like a technical genius,
And
put
how
an
old is
app
he?
on my phone. Well, he's in his 20s now. He's actually studying robotic engineering, believe it or not.
Oh, hell.
Yeah, I know, nerd.
Mhm.
But but he put an app on my phone. It replaced my ringer with farts, and like they were
Ooh.
random farts, so it didn't sound like it was the same one. And so I
Right.
go to this like meeting. I'm talking to this guy about a recurring role on a show. I'm like, this is my big break. I'm going to go to Hollywood, and I'm in the middle of this meeting, and all of a sudden somebody calls me. It's like, and it's coming out of my pants. The sound is coming out of,
Oh,
and
literally.
we're in this big fancy like 5-star restaurant, and I'm just looking around like, I don't know what that was. So I'm like trying to mute my phone, so I'm reaching down like this. Does it again. And the way he had it set up was that it gradually got louder and louder, and you couldn't mute it.
I'm glad you can laugh about it and not be furious about it.
Yeah, so now I'm living in Flint playing bars.
Hey, sorry to break it to you. Your son is studying robotics and he might be a genius, but that was not something very genius. It's just that you do not know apps. You are just old, man.
Yeah, he probably just downloaded an app and put it
That's
on
just
there.
something you download from the Apple Store. Like, yeah, my I can do it in my sleep, I think. I'm sure he's a genius. It's just that you are not. Sorry. I cannot wait to get old. Be dumb myself and then start blaming other people.
That's why I have kids.
Yeah. I think I'll keep having kids until I have no excuses for anything else. Like I think I gotta have everything covered. So I need to have a girl to have excuse to have.
Well, that's
excuses.
part of like the first step. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm talking about a daughter.
You're really starting at step one.
I'm talking
Well,
about
okay, we're going a little far back here into the development
Yeah.
space, but okay.
Sorry, I should have made it clear. That's what I was talking about.
Okay.
I gotta have a daughter and then a son, so that all the basics are covered. All the basic dumb shit, which you can put out on a teenage boy, and and all the other things that your mother does but blames you for it, that you can put on your daughter.
You could use your mask thing to like do boring parenting advice or whatever, singing the baby to sleep or something. Like, yeah. Any shows or podcasts or things you do when you want to promote?
Well, I was supposed to be performing this Thursday, but since I have COVID, that's not going to happen.
Bummer.
So you can announce you have COVID, brand new.
I'm going to be appearing at Captain's Quarters in Burton, Michigan on December 2nd. It's going to be a really fun show, so you can come see me then. And I'm going to perform my Christmas song. Well, one of my Christmas songs.
This has been a production of Planet Amp Podcast, powered by Pinecast.